This jacket used to have a detachable collar, but it snapped off, and I just spent 20 minutes trying to like sew it back on, and I did a bad job. But I did it for this video specifically, so that means you guys have to go give me a like, please. Hi, welcome to my channel, Zuelsy Draws, where I draw because I feel like it. My name is Jordan, and this video is going to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to make this intro very short. The first video I just posted was supposed to be kind of a get to know the artist type of deal, but I was a bit nervous and I didn't really talk too much about myself. I think I did a good job being very technical about what I was doing with my art style, but I want a do-over. So today, this is the real get to know the artist. So today I'm going to show you the process of me doing a watercolor painting. Let's get started. So first of all, I recently learned how to use my green screen. All right, I'm gonna do the best I can to keep up with what's going on here, but basically what I want you guys to know is I will be narrating what's going on a little bit, but I also want to talk about myself a little bit so you guys can know me, the personal side of me. I know what you're probably thinking, yes, it's another self-portrait. I'm not doing another self-portrait because I am vain, which I am. Here's my thinking. I just got this new Illo sketchbook, and I want the first thing that you see to be a welcome page. So yes, I'm going to be drawing myself again. Don't at me. We're starting off with this sketch. The first thing I started doing with this sketch was I was going to do my normal big eye and small nose style, but you guys already saw that in the last video. You see, I quickly erased that small nose and started going for realism. And you know what? My face looks just fine as it is. I hesitated. Yes, I'm wearing the same jacket here. So I am now using a clay eraser, which I like a lot more than regular erasers. You don't get the little shavings. Alright, so I will say this too. I usually despise using Sharpies, but it's one of the thickest dark brown things that I had to line with, so I just took it. I'm outlining right now using some colored microns and, like I said, that Sharpie. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about why I started doing this channel. I'm basically showing you guys what I already do in my everyday life. Like, I work full-time, like I said, at a coffee shop, and I come home and this is the kind of stuff I enjoy doing. Like, this is my hobby. So one day I just decided, let me just share it with you guys. I don't love painting that much because I just think it's a lot of setup and cleanup. But I'm trying something, you know? It's a new sketchbook, it's a new me. What I'm trying to show you guys here is, I'm about to use some watercolor, so I don't want my page to warp while I'm painting. I took some tape, and I wanted to make little creases at the bottom of the page. The hard part about that is, if you put tape directly on paper, when you pull it off later, it might rip. So you guys can see that I am using a pair of jeans. Hopefully the tape will pick up some lint, and when you go to pull it off later, it's a little bit less sticky. There's a little bit less adhesive directly contacting the paper. Did that make sense? I think it did. When I start coloring this in, I'm using an Arteza Watercolor Premier brush. Water brush? It's watercolors, is what I'm trying to say. I did make a little swatch sheet of all the different colors. It probably just flashed by there a second ago. And each time I swatched it, I put a little bit more water in it so that you can see the different tonalities using the same color. I don't watercolor too often, so I was really trying to challenge myself. I'm a lot more used to using the markers. One thing that I'm definitely learning about watercolors is that it's all about layering, and the best way to go about it is to let something completely dry before you decide to go back and make it darker. I didn't do that in the beginning. Don't get me wrong, I still like how this is turning out, but I feel like I just went in too early with trying to get different tones using the same first layer of that brown skin tone. By the way, also, this is my new setup for my tripod, which I'm very proud of, but my head kept getting in the way, and you guys will see that I do try my best to zoom in when my head gets in the way, but whatever. I think it's kind of funny. I'll learn. One of these days I'll learn. Other things I like to do are playing video games. I really like playing The Sims. I'm inspired by a couple different people on YouTube. This entire past 2 years, I've been watching like Lil Simsy, Vixella, Plumbella, James Turner, Deligracy, all these people playing Sims. So you guys might see me do some videos where I like make art out of The Sims. And I have some ideas I'm not going to tell you just yet. I also like to watch artists draw on YouTube, such as Drawing with Waffles, Lavender Town, someone named Mayu. She likes to make videos where she does a drawing based off of a character from one universe and then turns it into another one. I love the Drawfee channel. And then I also, like, this year have fallen back in love with watching different kinds of gameplay. Like, of course, I'm obsessed with the Among Us game. I really like to watch Lauren Z-Side, Joey Graceffa, Bloom, and some of the other people that they play with in their games. One thing I love about gamer videos is that they have their head in the corner as they narrate, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And one thing I love about the art videos is that angle that's straight down on your hands working. It's just taking up the entire screen. What I have not seen done too often is people combining those two things. I just thought it would be so fun for me. I'm also thinking that in one of my next videos, I'm probably going to be making a lot of fan art of some of my favorite YouTubers, because these are the people that inspired me, and some of them are very pretty people. So of course I'd want to give them a little, oh my goodness gracious. You know what? I'm glad this is happening because this is very me, so you guys get to see what I do a lot. I do touch my hair a lot. It's because I'm a Leo, so I like to give off that lion vibe, if you know what I mean. Speaking of zodiac, my friends at work and I have this inside joke because I do this drawing series. It's just a project I've started on my own terms where I love to make mermaids, and I want to make mermaids out of every single zodiac. But to do so, I need to study the qualities of every zodiac sign. Here I'm putting a little bit of pink in my cheeks. If you actually look at the reference picture, even though it is heavy on the skin tone, I do have a little flush to me. I really do like adding pink and red to like those parts in your face and body where you tend to see a lot of blushing. Like, blushing is not just for your cheeks. It's for your ears, it's for your nose, it's even for your fingertips, the kneecaps. My ears are literally pink right now. I don't know how much you can tell. Whenever I get hot, they turn pink. So I've done a lot of research. I'm only halfway through my projects right now, which, by the way, you can see them on my Instagram at Jordan Z Gallery. So I really only know fully about half of the zodiac signs. And even though I don't fully believe in this, I think it's very fascinating and fun to me. So I like to study it. It's enjoyable for me. But they don't necessarily all believe that I don't believe in it, because I will go off on a tangent and be like, oh yeah, well, David's a Capricorn, so he never stops working. You'll have to excuse him. Of course he doesn't, like, and then I'll say that entire story, and then I'll be like, not that I actually believe in that stuff. They're sitting there like, do you? By the way, that little turtle sitting on there, I'm using that as a paperweight. It's very cute. I like it. And that kind of helps me keep the paper flat. So it is rippling. You are adding water to it, but at least it'll keep it flat. So a lot of the stuff that I do with my art is self-taught. I have been out of high school for many years, and I have not started any college yet. The plan was to go to college. I definitely want to take some art classes, but I kind of let working rule my life for a long time. And when I became the department manager, I wasn't very flexible anymore. So I kind of let that take top priority. I did take art classes every year of high school, and they were like my favorite thing in the world. I do remember, like, my art teacher loved me, and I hope she sees this, because I had the same art teacher every year of high school too. And I would love that class. I would come on time. I would turn in my projects. But I remember one day I was using my phone for reference. You know, you're not supposed to have your phone out at school, but my teacher loved me, and I remember the kid sitting next to me had his phone out too, and she yells across the classroom, "Johnny, put your phone away!" And Johnny's sitting next to me like, Jordan has his phone out, and my teacher says, Jordan turns in his work on time. One thing that I was learning was that things would look a lot darker when I've laid them down, and then I'd come back a few minutes later, and it was actually pretty light. So you'll see me going back and forth, especially with the shaved head and the beard, and I just keep adding some dark brown to like the chin area and the side of the head. I do that over and over again, and that's something I cut out a lot. But in this drawing, I painted this collar here like a light yellow, and I'm gonna be layering some browns on top of that later. I really like it though. It does look very lion-like. I actually did cut out a lot of footage. This whole thing it took me at least 3 hours, and I tried my best to narrow this entire thing down to like under 15 minutes somehow. I got some cider, and yes, this is my mug from Starbucks, where I work, where I actually manage. Also, speaking of work, I love my job. It's very fun. But I really wish that I could go out to my workplace and wear whatever I want. Like, if I could wear something like this any day, But of course, when I go to work, I have to wear a uniform. So one day I will be able to go to work and wear whatever I want and show it all off. By the way, these earrings here, I'm wearing the same ones right now. I literally just put this entire outfit on just to match the drawing that I did. The picture itself I took a few years ago. I don't look too different, right? Sometimes I would put things on too dark and I would have to go and sop it up before it like dried with the little toilet paper. That's actually why we had some toilet paper outages. It's because of me, it's my fault. As much as I like being the department lead at my job, I do write my own schedule and it's a little bit exhausting. I write my schedule out pretty far in advance and that gives me plenty of time to forget what I wrote. So, and I'm usually very, very good about keeping up with it. Like I haven't been late or called out in a long time. But when you write the schedule so far out in advance, you might forget that you gave yourself an extra day off one week and then show up on your day off, which I did last week. It's fine. I work hard and I play hard. That was a smart idea, by the way, putting that paper towel under my hand. I don't know about you other artists out there, but I definitely my entire hands get so messy when I'm working. It doesn't matter what material I'm using. And then I immediately stop using it as a hand rest and start using it to... I'm just really inconsistent is what I'm learning. Also, I didn't use that many colors to make this either. It's basically just brown, yellow, pink, and blue. And black, I guess. I even made the earring blue. Here we go with more toilet paper dabbing. I almost went too dark on that eyelid. When you're good at one thing, you find that when you try something new or just something that you're not used to, the skills can transfer a little bit. I'm always learning. I told you guys I was gonna put some brown on top of that collar. So this is only my second video, but I feel like I'm learning a lot. It is taking me a long time to edit it, but sometimes you just gotta take your time if you want that to look its best. Like me in the morning doing this hair, okay? Here's another thing I'll say about doing the video like this. I feel pressured to keep talking the entire time and feel the silence, but I feel like I'm gonna get used to it, right? Speaking of me learning, I just figured out watching back some of this footage, I did not account for the fact that the frame was gonna be flipped. I'm literally going to have to go in and edit each frame flipped to the other side. So I'm gonna be mirrored this whole time. The thing is, I planned on having my head in the bottom left corner and I just can't have it facing this way. So if I'm mirrored and you noticed, which you didn't until I said something, I'm sorry. Here we go with that Sharpie again. The reason I usually don't like Sharpies is because they do bleed a lot. You know what? It did the job. Oh, these eyebrows. I love that. Can we just take a second to appreciate the texture on that? I used a white Posca pen, which is basically like a paint pen. It's a little bit more opaque than watercolor, so you can put it right on top. And then I wanted to get that wool texture, so I just dotted it on there, and then if it was too bold, I just dabbed it right back off. I used the same Posca pen to put just a tiny little sparkle in my eye. And just a tiniest little shine on the lip. I'm very proud. That's basically me. I work full-time at a coffee shop. I come home, I do art if I'm not hanging out with friends, which I'm not right now because it's not safe right now. I'll watch YouTube videos. I'll play Among Us. This has been a rough year, friends. This is 2020. Making these videos kind of started because I needed something to look forward to doing, to deal with this year. You can see a little bit of a border where I peeled that paint off. You can see some of the sketch where some of the paint did not hit. I kind of like that though. It kind of reminds you that this is a sketchbook. I absolutely forgot about my freckle when I was doing this painting originally, and I was all finished. I packed everything away. I literally went back and unpacked everything again just to film a 2-second clip of me dotting that freckle. My freckle is important to me, I'm sorry. That was a lot of talking. I'm just gonna... Thank you for watching my video. I hope you learned something about me. I hope I learned something about myself. I'm definitely open to your comments and advice. What I'd really like for you to do is to go in the comment section below and write something nice about me. I need the attention. It's because I'm a Leo. You'll have to stay tuned to see what the next one's going to be about. I'm sure I've already hinted at it somewhere in this video. I'm going to post the finished drawing of this on my Instagram, at Jordan Z Gallery. So please go check me out over there and see some of the other stuff I've worked on. Or better yet, how about you guys go down in the comments and tell me how many times I touched my hair this video. It's a problem. The fun thing about being subscribed to me is that you'll never know what you're gonna see next week. But the whole point of this is I draw because I feel like it. Just a reminder that your comments, likes, and suggestions and shares are more important to me than you realize. So I think we're good here, and until next time, we're golden. Bye. It's gonna keep falling.